Welcome back to Flip That Script. I'm Holly,
And I'm Dana.
and today we're going to talk about self worth and how it can really sneak into areas of our life because there isn't just one way that you feel unworthy.
That's right. There's a lot of different ways that you can feel unworthy. And you may feel worthy in one instance, but you might feel confident at work, but not in your home life. So you're confident enough that you feel worthy for your job, but you're in your home life, maybe you don't feel like you deserve to rest when you get home from work.
Right, that you have to run around and take care of everything in the house. You feel the pressure that perhaps you even just create for yourself. Now, sometimes another person can create that stress for you and that pressure, but sometimes we actually put expectations on ourselves that are unrealistic.
Right. I mean, honestly, society does it too. Men have their jobs they have to do, women have their jobs they have to do. And really, it's just should be whatever happens in that household that manages to work. You just,
Right.
you know, but those things can make us feel like we're not doing enough if we don't get to that thing that's meant for a woman or that thing that's meant for a man.
Self worth has so many different feelings and ways that it manifests into our life, and like over giving or people pleasing, chronically apologizing for everybody's stuff. Or mom, I'm sorry.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's shrinking. It's shrinking yourself to go into rooms that you deserve to fill. You deserve to fill those rooms, but you shrink
Yes.
so that you don't take up any space. It's feeling guilty because somewhere inside you believe that you have to earn peace or you have to earn love. You don't have to earn it. You're already worthy of those things. You were born worthy.
And
It's
remembering the fact that you were born perfectly, perfectly just the way you are, and that you don't have to achieve a certain level to be loved. You don't have to overperform to be loved. You don't have to be a servant within a relationship to be loved. And a lot of times, those issues stem from being raised in a household where love was conditional. I only love you if you do this, that, and the other. And you're bad if you don't. And so then that flows into as an adult feeling unworthy unless you are perfect or unless you do more.
right. It can also happen with all the social media. You see everybody's highlights of their fun times and they're getting the kisses and the hugs, and you see all of this, and you see it every day, say on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. You see all of the love and all of the caring and all of this person. Look, oh look, my husband gave me this. My best friend gave me this. Look, I'm so so lucky. I'm so and you're watching
Yeah.
other people have all of these things, but you don't know what's going on the other 99% of the time through their life. Just that one little snap picture is all you've seen, and you've already their life is like this picture. No, their life is not like that. And I'm sure, you have those moments too. It's just that you're dwelling in the other 99%.
So a lot of times too, they are showing that highlight, that part, because perhaps it's the only time it's ever happened. Perhaps they're clinging on to the breadcrumbs, the little
Mm-hmm.
bits to say, look, maybe, just maybe I'm worthy because I did something right. Because I have
Right.
to do everything right to be worthy. It's
That
not
too.
realistic. Yeah.
That too, like that you said about the breadcrumbs, it's like accepting breadcrumbs, like accepting minor things that should happen anyway. in your life, like a friend that kept a secret. You know, maybe your husband did the dishes or your wife mowed the lawn, vice versa on the rules here. Maybe that
Right.
happened. You're like, oh, well, then you take that and you make it into this grand feast, and it's just a breadcrumb. It's just a
Yes.
breadcrumb. That's not enough to feed you.
Not at all. It's the one thing that they may have done in the last 10 years. Not enough.
So if that's something that you're finding that, then maybe you do have self-worth issues. I mean, I know I have in the past. I've had, I had my ex-husband cheated on me. And the first man that I got with after him, first man I dated, I wasn't really attracted to him. And in my mind, I thought, this one won't cheat, you know? He's not
Yeah.
gonna cheat on me. But I mean, he was a nice guy. He really was. But, well, he wasn't for me. Yeah. I wouldn't have talked to him to even get to know that he was a nice guy otherwise, because I wasn't feeling worthy enough for the men that I was attracted to.
And I think a lot of people can relate to that. And I have worked a lot on self-worth, and I'm still working on self-worth because I do see it creep in here and there. I see when I can't be excited for myself that I accomplished something. What's holding me back from celebrating myself? That's self-worth. I see it a lot of times, like I mentioned earlier, it's an issue that starts when you're a child and you carry it through your life. And I know that is my case, especially. It carried through to my first ex-husband. And, he always talked down to me, and I always tried to be perfect, and I always tried to do better, and I always tried to be more quiet. And I was like a chameleon, constantly changing for what he wanted. And that's self-worth issue. That's saying somebody else's idea of you is more worthy than who you really are. And we should all be free to be who we are. You aren't too much or not enough. You are just you. And you should walk in that and cherish that.
That's like people pleasing until you don't even know, what you want or who you are anymore. You completely lose yourself. And if you don't know what you want anymore because you're too busy pleasing everybody else, no, you should make yourself the most important person in your life.
And that doesn't mean that you're selfish. A lot of people who have self-worth issues feel like if I do this, though, it's selfish. If I rest, I'm selfish. Those are not selfish acts. We should all take care of ourselves first. Everyone, every human being should. Because the more you take care of yourself, the better. And the more that you actually have to give in a healthy way to the other people in your life and to the people surrounding you. Another thing that you can notice is if you apologize all the time for things you didn't do, for the smallest thing that perhaps you did do, to the greatest thing perhaps that you did do. But when you're apologizing because someone else made a mistake, that's a big signal. When you're apologizing because you forgot milk at the grocery store, that's nothing to apologize about. That's just a oops, right? It's just an oops.
So again, whatever. Go back.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So that chronic apologizing is a big sign to look for in yourself. Self-worth, lack of the self-worth can creep in all different areas of your life. And just watching for those signs and learning to say, I am worthy. I am good enough. I don't have to earn love. I'm just enough, just the way I am.
It's also when you choose someone else's comfort over your own. So, like silencing yourself, silencing the truth, staying small, just because if you stand tall, you might make someone else uncomfortable. Or, but you're allowed to be comfortable. You are allowed to be comfortable. And if somebody else is doing something and it's making you uncomfortable, then you should tell the truth. You should tell your truth or say your truth. Let them know whatever you're doing is making me uncomfortable. And if that makes them uncomfortable, then that's just the way it is.
Right. You should never stifle your voice. We can all say anything in a respectful way. This is one thing I have really pressed with my children. You can say anything you want as long as you say it with respect, because you can tell someone how something makes you feel or what you feel is wrong in your eyes in a respectful way. And as adults, especially, we should be able to have an open dialogue about that. If I come to Dana and I said, Dana, you really said this thing, and I don't know if you were directing it at me, but it made me feel like I wasn't good enough to share this podcast with you, or that I was less than. I should be able to come to her and say that and not keep it inside and hold it inside and not further perpetuate an issue with self-worth. Also, that can spiral into shame. It can spiral into anger, resentment. It can cause you to feel like you can't talk to anyone or trust anyone.
And it can cause you to lose relationships with people too, because if I were doing something that Holly felt uncomfortable with and I didn't know I was doing it, and so she never told me because she didn't want to upset me. Now I don't know, so I'm going to continue to do because I don't know it upsets her. And she's going to keep getting upset, and then she's going to drift away. She's going to pull back. She's going to not want to be in this podcast with me. Maybe she'll decide that she wants to do something else because I'm making her uncomfortable daily. And I don't ever want to do that. So it would be better all around if Holly told me what was uncomfortable. And then I would say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that I was making you uncomfortable. And I'm going to check myself and, and that's how that should be.
Exactly. We should feel comfortable enough in expressing what we're feeling. And when we shrink our voice, it only causes ourselves harm. Because again, like Dana said, if she doesn't know that there's something she's doing that's causing me internal pain, it's just going to grow. And I'm going to find a way to just break clean and not be in that situation eventually.
Like a snowball effect. It's always going to
Exactly like this.
escalate. Things like that escalate, and sometimes they escalate pretty fast.
Yes.
But but there's ways that you can get yourself, if you find that you're feeling unworthy, that you don't, feel that you're worthy of whatever it is. There's things you can do. Like my favorite thing is what they call the Superman stance or the Wonder Woman
Yes.
for women. So you get up in the morning and you stand in front of your mirror and you put your hands on your hips and just look at yourself in the mirror and have that confidence, that, chest up, chin up, put your crown on, visualize it, just put that crown on and look in the mirror and say, I am worthy. And I am
Yes.
whatever it is that you don't feel that you're worthy, say that you are.
Right.
Look at yourself in that mirror. Imagine yourself in that whatever position it is that you want to be, and say, I'm worthy of that. This is me. I am whole.
Yes.
Worthy
Just
of
the way
love,
you are.
peace. I'm worthy of this job. I'm worthy of
Love.
love.
appreciation. I mean, instead of looking in that mirror and seeing all the things that you don't like or that you still haven't become, like the weight, the wrinkles, the things left undone, that silent checklist that we get going in our mind, things that we feel like we don't measure up to. You have to look in that mirror and you really have to be like, I am worthy because I exist. I am enough because I breathe. I am loved. I am chosen and I am free. Because you have to love yourself enough to become worthy, to express fully the joy, the happiness, the love you have for others. If you're always so hard on yourself, then how can you completely express the greatness of others? Because you're just as great. We are all unique in different ways. We all have great qualities about us. Everybody doesn't have the same great quality. And every one of us makes mistakes. And a mistake in your life does not make you unworthy, makes you human. 10 mistakes do not make you unworthy because you're worthy just as you are. You're worthy just as you are, just as you're working on yourself and really digging in and building your own self up and saying thank you to a compliment, allowing people to compliment you. And when they compliment you, don't say, no, 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 really, I'm not. Oh, it wasn't that much. It was no big deal. I'm really not pretty. I don't know why you're saying that. Just simply say thank you.
Just say thank
That's, yeah, that's all you have to do. And eventually you will begin to believe how sincere people are when they're complimenting you. And you will understand you are those things.
you. Yeah, and if you don't have, maybe people aren't complimenting you. Maybe people are saying the things that are making you feel unworthy. Usually people do that because they're not really worthy of you. They're they have different mindsets and it's just not right. If you find yourself there, then just tell yourself, give yourself the compliments. Do that in the mirror. And appreciate, if you do have the grays and the wrinkles and whatever. I mean, I do. I love it. I love my
Me
gray.
too. I have the wrinkles.
I have the wrinkles. I'm getting there. I'm like, yes, finally, crone age. Let's get there.
Right. Our society puts so much pressure on women, especially, to look young, stay young, don't have gray hair, don't have wrinkles. Why not? That has nothing to do with your self worth. It has nothing to do as to if you are worthy of love
Right.
and if you are worthy of compliments. Embrace yourself and really just love yourself. Love yourself enough that if you are surrounded by people who do not compliment you, only point out the wrong things, it's time to not allow people to be in your life who pull you down that way. Find some people who can see the good in you because there is. You have great qualities. Everyone has something good about them, something that is worthy of praise.
And those things that you think on yourself that you think are not attractive, you wouldn't believe how many people think they are. They really, really think that those features on you that they see on you, and they're like, oh, wow, that really stands out. I like that. Or, like I have a big nose. Everybody knows I have a big nose. I used to not like it. Now I'm like, huh, this fits my face. You know,
Yeah,
you have freckles. When I was a kid, oh my goodness. No, I hate freckles. I wish I didn't have freckles. Why do I have freckles? Now I'm like, I like it. I stand out.
right, exactly.
She's, grown
Yeah,
herself. And it didn't happen overnight. I had to tell myself, you know what? This looks dang good.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, and considering now people are drawing freckles on, like,
It's true. I
right?
see some shoulders. I'm like, They need a
You've got those. But even before that,
yeah.
I've had issues with I didn't like my body. I didn't like my hair. There are so many things that I didn't like about myself. For a long time, I didn't like my lips. I was so self-conscious of them. And that stemmed from childhood because my mother always told me some really ugly things about my lips. So I was very self-conscious of them and I didn't feel like I was worthy. I wouldn't talk. I kept my mouth shut. And that stemmed over and contributed to picking my first husband because he told me everything that was wrong. And after being told something's wrong for so long, yes, we're going to believe it. We're going to believe it. So it's so important to dig down deep and remember who you are, know who you are, and bring that back up and love yourself so that you can be in healthy relationships, in a healthy position within your job, even.
And I
Because
mean,
if you aren't feeling that in your job, people are probably overworking you. They're taking advantage of you.
yes, absolutely. And if you think about it, people saying things to you, like repeatedly, like you said with your lips, right? It's because you've heard it enough. But if you think about it now, if you hear the positive things about you enough, you're going to believe that too. Even if you're saying it to yourself. If you say it to yourself enough every day, say it, write it down, get a journal every night, maybe write 3 things down that prove that you have value, that you like, just 3 things every night.
Yeah.
But not something that proves your value to others, but proves it to you. Even if that's just I made space to rest today, or I said no without guilt, or I asked for help.
Yes. Yes.
3 things.
Another, that is another thing that Dana and I help with a lot of our clients. Hypnotherapy is a wonderful tool to
It's
help you with self-worth.
yes.
I mean, going in and rewriting the old subconscious narratives that you have to earn love, that you're not enough, and rewriting your story that you are enough, you are worthy just as you are in this moment. Also, just creating those anchors and those affirmations. I am worthy because I exist, because that's true. You are worthy every moment of every day. You just have to find it within yourself to believe that. And hypnotherapy helps to go in there and break that old pattern that tells you constantly everything that everybody said negatively to you and change that to let you know that that was not never your truth. That was never yours to carry. That was theirs. And I think of that old saying, misery loves company. A lot of times when people continually tell you nothing but a flaw that they can see in you, it's because they themselves are miserable and they are trying to make everyone around them miserable as well.
Right. Or they're jealous of it.
Yes. They don't want you to feel better than they do.
Right.
This is
It's like
one
feel
thing.
it's like when someone says, well, I feel like I'm not worthy, so you shouldn't feel worthy either.
Yes.
But don't let them bring
Yes.
you down too. You know, you can
Yes.
Heck, you can give that inner voice of yours too. You have that inner voice that's always the critic. You can give it a voice and then, or give it a name. Give that voice a name. Like, I don't know, Judgy Janet or Petty Paul or, belittling Betty or Bill and Esmeralda. And then when it pipes up, when it starts, oh, you can't do that. You shouldn't say that because you're going to hurt this person. Just say, shut up, Janet. No one asked. And then do it anyway.
Right. Rewrite what that voice just said to you. Flip that script in your mind to what it should be, not what that inner critic is telling you. And also, Part of self-worth is being open to receiving,
Mhm.
receiving help, receiving compliments, receiving gifts. I have seen people that get angry if somebody gives them a gift because they don't feel they deserve it. They haven't earned it. And that's another sign. And sometimes we can be so confident in one area of our life, and then self-worth creeps in there and we see, oh, why can't I let someone do something for me or give me a gift or, compliment me?
Yeah. You could write yourself a permission slip. Like literally write a permission slip. Say, I give myself permission. I give myself permission to be seen, to love, to be loved, to be valued, to fill that room, to be heard, and sign it. Put a date on it,
Yes.
sign it, and stick it up on your mirror and then say that every day. Say that every
Put
day.
one under your mirror and put one under your pillow or on top of your pillow so that when you go to bed at night, it's going to be right there to read. And when you get up in the morning, it's going to be on your mirror. And just continue.
And you, like, even after a week, if you do this every day for a week, I'm gonna guarantee you will feel a little better. You'll feel a little better, and then you continue to do it. You're gonna feel better each week. You're gonna notice. And there's your homework.
Yes.
Here's your homework.
Yes.
Do that for a week, and then check in and see how you're feeling. Like, give yourself a number in the first before it, and then give yourself a number on how you feel about yourself after that. And then another week and another week. And I'm going to guarantee you're going to see. You're just going to feel better and better about yourself.
Every little step is progress. Every little step. And if you listened to last week's episode, we talked about the high five in the mirror. So if you didn't listen, you should go and listen to that technique. But high five yourself in the mirror for reading your affirmations every morning and every night. When you go to that mirror and you have them taped to your mirror, high five yourself after you do it because you're doing something for yourself and you need to be doing things for yourself, not just giving to everyone else. I mean, think about it. I would never look at Dana and say, you haven't worked as hard as I've worked, Dana. You don't deserve to go rest. I need you to do 50 more things. I wouldn't want her to feel that way.
Yeah.
I would never want her to feel that way. So why would I talk to myself that way? But I have in the past when I had issues with self-worth. I thought that I had to do everything for everyone. I had to work, I had to clean, I had to cook, I had to go to all the things for the kids all the time. I had to spend every minute with them. I could not take a break because that meant I was a bad mom or that meant I was lazy. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. If I would not say that to my friend, my sibling, my child, or anyone, why am I accepting it for myself? We should not accept things for ourselves that we would not expect anyone else to accept.
Right. Exactly. I think that's all the time we have for today.
Yes. But Dana and I wanted to thank you for coming today. And we are going to be posting a poem about self-worth in the comments.
Yes.
And if you
Please.
don't see it, you can reach out and we will send it to you. So we hope that you enjoyed this episode and we will see you next week.
Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. Send this to whoever you think needs it lifted up from their self worth. And we'll see you next week.